Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We'll give it a few more seconds here for everyone to fully get into the webinar. Okay, let's get started. So, hello everyone, thanks for joining. We are very excited to be hosting this webinar today on our new generative AI GPT integration. This webinar is hosted by myself, Matthew Costello, and my colleague Josh Rich.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining. We're really excited to show this new feature integration, and with it being a new feature, we're also looking forward to your feedback and to seeing it further evolve. So the possibilities are really exciting. So once again, thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to have this out so quickly, and we know there's been a lot of buzz about generative AI GPT recently, and we're hoping that with this integration, we can really bring our CRM to the forefront of what's possible with content generation when it comes to AI models. So let's get started here with the agenda. So I will be covering initially what is GPT. So going over kind of the concepts of GPT itself and large language models. I'll then be going over Vtiger Calculus AI, because this is an integration with our AI add-on that has been available for quite a few months now already. So we've already been working with AI. This is just going to be another part of it. So I'll be going over Calculus AI, and then we'll be going over the features that come with GPT itself. That'll be how it can be used within the CRM, and then how it actually looks within Vtiger will be the final steps. And then I'll pass it off to Josh for a live demonstration, actually showing you how it functions in the system and how you can make the best use of it. So with that, let me jump into what is GPT. So GPT, otherwise known as Generative Pre-trained Transformer or Generative AI, it's a program with the capability to generate text based on knowledge accumulated from public data, which is a large language model. If you're not familiar, a large language model is an AI format that's trained on a very, very large volume of data, generally like petabytes in size. It usually takes place in multiple steps. So the first one's usually unsupervised learning, which is where it's just given large packets of data. It parses through the data that's unlabeled, and usually it can help start to notice relationships between words and concepts. The next step's usually fine-tuning that training, giving it some data labeling so it can start making deeper connections. And the final one's deep learning, which is where it really starts to fully build out how the words connect, how phrases connect, and that way it can help generate content and predict content that it needs to generate. So before I jump further onto that side of things, I do want to talk about Vtiger Calculus AI. So this is an add-on we've had available for quite a while now. It offers AI-guided selling capabilities for your sales team with predictive intelligence and recommendations. This comes with a number of features that are already available. The screenshot that you see on the screen there is actually from a feature called deal scoring. It helps offer AI-based scoring information from historical data that's already in the CRM. Generally, we recommend having at least 200 closed won and 200 closed lost deals. From that data, it will give you an estimated a deal score that's estimated on the overall information available from the deal you're currently working on. So that'll be how likely it is to close. Below that is the predicted close date, again, based off historical data in the system, as well as our own AI algorithms. It'll give you a predicted close date on how it expects, when it expects the deal to close, as well as an engagement score. That's just how often you are speaking with the prospect linked to the deal. And on top of that, we do have a sentiment score as well that's based off of analyzing calls and meetings with the prospects. So there are a number of other features that come with the Calculus AI. I mentioned one of those already. There's full-blown call quality analysis. There's AI-powered dashboards, next best action, and many more, ending up with our newest one, the GPT integration. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We do actually have a webinar where we go into this add-on in full detail, already available on our website. If you go into the resources tab and then look at webinars we've posted there, that is available. So if you're interested in learning more, we go into full detail on this add-on in that webinar. But for now, the focus is GPT. And so let's go into some of those features. So I have these broken down into sales, support, and the final slide's marketing. It adds benefits to all aspects of your company. On the sales side, you can use it to generate prospecting emails. So if you want to send out an email to a cold lead, all you have to do is pull up the GPT prompt, add in what you'd like the email to be generated with. So you could say, oh, this is a lead we haven't reached out to before. We would like an email in 200 words that talks about the benefits of our product. Then the email can be generated. You can make small adjustments if needed, and then send it off. And we can help you generate email sequences. So not just one, but an entire sequence. You can request it to actually request the sequence itself first, the structure of it. So if you wanted a 2-month time frame of emails that need to be sent out for, say, the construction industry, it could recommend a sequence first, and then you can work to build out the emails from there. And that works alongside our email sequences feature. If you're not aware of that, that's already a feature in the system where you can have a sequence of emails scheduled to be sent out to a leader customer. You can have it work with our process designer feature. This is another one that Josh and I have done a webinar on. We go into detail on use cases and what the feature is itself. I highly recommend that one as well. This can help you automate your entire sales process, including sales cadences that work within it. With GPT, you can ask it, request it to build out a sales cadence for your team. And using that feature, you could then create the cadence. And finally, you can use it to generate sales pitches. So if you're in a meeting with a customer, or you have a meeting planned, and maybe they're in for a certain industry, you could then use GPT to ask it to build you a pitch for that customer based on their industry, and then use that within the meeting. Of course, making adjustments as needed on the human side. That's the thing with this integration. It definitely still needs human moderation. It's not perfect. It generates and it predicts what best fits the prompt you give it, but human moderation is still recommended. So on the support side, we have AI generated replies. This is both in live chats and cases in the system. So if a question is asked, whether it's in a case or a chat, there's actually a small icon, a blue icon for our AI add-on that'll appear next to it. You can click that. It'll generate a reply from the question, and that can be posted and sent to the contact. Josh will show that more in the live demonstration. You can rephrase what's already what you've typed out, specifically in live chat. So if you don't like the way you have phrased something or want it to be phrased a bit better, there's just a simple button you can press to have it rephrased by the GPT integration. And finally, you can have a summary of a conversation in live chats. So if you do need to escalate or transfer the chat to another member of your team, but it might be a long chat log, and to help them not have to read every single interaction that's happened in the entire chat, you can have that summary of the chat quickly generated for you and posted internally for your team to use. Now on the marketing side, the main focus is email templates. So you can have both subject lines and the content of the email created based on the prompt you give the GPT integration. As you can see on the right-hand side, this will just show up right when you're composing an email template. All you have to do is click the button, the prompt shows up, and then you just type out what you want it to generate. That can be inserted directly into the email template as well. And again, we recommend some small changes be made. So let's look at how this appears in the system itself. And I do want to take a little moment here. So we do have members of our team available in this webinar to help answer any questions, and we do have the Q&A at the end. We do recommend that you use the Q&A option you'll see at the bottom of your screen to ask any questions you do have, and we will respond as quickly as possible to those. But again, we also have 15 minutes at the end for questions and answers as well. But let's go back into talking about how this actually looks in the system. So you will, once the add-on is installed, you'll see a blue icon in the top right-hand corner of your page on every page of the system. Clicking on that will bring up the Ask Calculus AI prompt or pop-up. And here you can type in the command or prompt you want to generate information for. You also have additional options of commands for the GPT integration. All this is a /sm and then the module name along with the keywords you want it to pull up information for. So this works for the deals module, the organizations, and the contacts module. So for example, if I wanted to look up a contact called Ernie, I would do /sm contact Ernie, and it would pull up some of the key fields and give you the option to pull it open up in a new tab as well for the entire record. And as an example of how this actually works, for example, if I wanted to generate an email template covering Vtiger CRM benefits, that'd be the prompt I use. I click submit, and it would pull up the entire email within a few seconds. You also have the option to improve it, shorten it, and make it formal. You can click those that they do as described. It sends that additional request through the integration, and it'll either improve it, shorten it, and make it formal, or you can add a custom prompt onto the existing what's already been generated to have it built off of the existing prompt. And Josh will show this a lot more in the live demonstration. So I will now pass it off to Josh, and he will show you how this functions within the CRM itself.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, hopefully you can see my screen here. So as Matthew discussed during the slides, there's many ways in which Vtiger Calculus AI GPT integration can benefit your sales, marketing, and support teams. So during my demo today, we're going to walk through a few different use cases and scenarios. With that being said, generative AI is moving fast, and we're really rolling out features really quickly. We just started using these features internally in Vtiger, and so I'm really excited to show you the functionality of this feature and how it can help save your team lots of time while providing quality content to pass along to your prospects and customers. So let's start off with this Ask Calculus AI button in the header section. So this button is placed in the header section up here to provide users with quick access to this feature. Users can type in prompts to generate content or even get answers and replies to questions they or their customers may have. And as Matthew mentioned, you can also use commands as well. So if we open it up, we can see that we can get information from the deals or opportunity module, organizations, and the contacts module. So let's use a command. Let's do /contact Anastasio. This is the last name of one of my contacts, and click submit. So as you can see, it's pulled up some summary information on my contact, Ernie Anastasio. It tells you the type of content, type of contact, and some additional information as well. On top of that, we can click here to open in a new tab, which will bring you directly to the contact record itself if you need to make any further edits or find any additional information on that contact. Similarly, with deals, we can type in the command /SM space deal, and then the name of the deal itself, click submit, and we'll get summary information on that deal. So we can see here that this deal has been in the ready to close stage for 2 days. We see the expected amount, expected close date. We see our last comments from our team and the description of the deal itself. So right now, this summary that we're giving you is hard-coded in the back end. But we are working to make this customizable so you can see, the fields that you want to see in this summary section. You can also type in general prompts, as mentioned earlier, or ask Calculus to perform certain tasks, such as writing an email, creating catchy subject lines, or really anything under the sun that you can think of. It's pretty cool. So let's start with typing in a general prompt that a sales rep might want assistance with. So I am going to type in, and I'm going to ask Calculus AI to write an elevator pitch for Vtiger CRM. And we can see the progress bar moving across the top. So we can see in just about 3 seconds or so, it has written an elevator pitch for us. As Matthew mentioned, you always want to review this just to make sure everything looks correct, but out of the box, it looks great. And we have our additional buttons here if we want to improve it, shorten it, or make it formal. And then our additional prompt here if we want to ask any sort of custom prompts as well. So we can click on the Improve It button here, and this should give us an improved version of this. So it's basically a revised version. It's going to choose different words, different phrasing, etc. But these are some quick buttons to just do some different actions to these prompts. With that being said, I can also type in an additional prompt. So if I want to include additional information about Vtiger's OneView in this pitch, I can put it in the prompt here and hit enter. And after it generates, we now see that it's starting to talk about OneView in the pitch itself. So really cool, really great way to just to create content. You know, if we were going to sit down and write an elevator pitch, it might take anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour to come up with something good. So great way to get that you know, the foundation for a great pitch, or really anything that you're looking to do, all from within the CRM. So next, I want to take a look at how a sales rep might use this to help write an email to reach out to a cold lead, where the sales rep is attempting to make first contact with this lead. So this is going to be their first attempt. So we need a solid subject line and a short but intriguing email to send to the prospect. So I am going to visit a contact record. Let's find a contact that is a cold lead. So we have our top contact here, Ernie. So let's open up the record, and we'll open up our email composer up here. And now we can see our get content suggestions from GPT right in the window. We can click here, type in our command. So write an email pitching Vtiger CRM to a cold lead. We'll click on submit. And again, we're just watching that progress bar go by. And here you can see it's generated a nice email that we can send off to this contact. When we are in the email composer, when we're using GPT, we also have this insert button down here. So we can click there and insert that directly into the body of the email. So with just a couple short, quick edits, we can copy the subject line, put that up here. We can delete this, and really just, you know, just some extra spacing, et cetera, to make this look nicer. But you can see in just a matter of seconds, it's generated this whole pitch for us. So moving along, I mean, those are just two quick examples, and really the possibilities are endless with this. So we're just trying to show off the basic functionality here. And like I mentioned earlier, we're working hard to roll out additional features on this. So it's really exciting, you know, what's going to be happening in the future with this as well. So moving along, I want to show now some features on the support side. So I want to show two examples of how Calculus GPT can be used by your support team or responding to cases and chats. So let's start with cases. So if we visit the cases module, we can see we have a new case that came in here. After opening up the case, I can scroll down to the activity section, and I see that this contact has asked, how do I add a new user to Vtiger CRM? So just by clicking on the reply button up here, I now have my prompt, my Ask Calculus button. And once I click on this, it's actually going to read the question that the customer asked and generate a response for me. So I can insert this right into the body of the email here, and we can see it's listed out how to add a new user to Vtiger CRM with step-by-step instructions. So again, you know, always want to proofread this, but you can see especially for those general questions that come in to your support teams, this is really going to save a ton of time. You know, you don't need any pre-built templates. You just have it ready to go, and it can adjust based on the questions that are asked. We are going to be adding in additional functionality to the cases module here. Right now, when we click on this button, it is just generating a response for us. But we are going to be adding in the shorten it, and then our own custom prompt box as well. So that should be coming probably in the next couple days or so. So next, I'm going to go and visit our live chat module, and let's go there and let's wait for a chat to come in. I can see that Matthew has sent us a question here, and he's asking, how can I import information into the CRM? So I'm just going to say, hi, Matthew. And then right next to his question here, just like in the cases module, when I click on this, it's going to generate a response for me. And here we do have those additional prompts that shorten it, and then the custom box as well to ask our own or to add additional prompts in. But I can click insert. This is going to insert this right into my reply box, and I can send this right back to the contact. All right, so we'll just wait, see if this contact has any more questions for us. So the first question was about importing. This gave step-by-step instructions to import into the CRM. And now he's asking about exporting as well. So again, we can click right here. And Calculus should generate a response detailing the exporting process in Vtiger. Here we go. Click insert and send it off. So now in just a matter of seconds, I have step-by-step instructions for our importing and exporting process delivered right to this customer, and really took no time at all. Lastly, for this part of it, if I go and I type my own response, and let's say I'll be ending the chat if you don't have any questions. So that sounds pretty rough around the edges. We have a rephrase button here that's slightly hidden by my Grammarly extension. But if we click on rephrase, it's going to rephrase my response and make it a lot better. So now instead of that kind of dry, I'll be ending this chat if you don't have any questions, reply, it's now saying, thank you for joining me today. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. So a lot better response than mine. This can help, in many different ways. I know a lot of times in live chat, our representatives are typing quickly. Sometimes there's spelling errors, or maybe a sentence isn't constructed properly. So that rephrase button really helps to make sure that you're sending quality content back and forth to your to the people that you're assisting in live chat. Lastly, we do have this private tab in live chat as well. If we click on private, we now have this summarize button here as well. And I do apologize, it's kind of hidden by my Grammarly, but we do have this summarize button. So I can click on the summarize button, and it is going to summarize the chat for me. So if I need to escalate this chat, or if I need to transfer it to another agent, I can click the summarize button, post it into the chat, and now this is only viewable. This is only viewable by internally from our chat users. So it's a great way to summarize it up really quickly. That way, whoever you're escalating to or transferring to doesn't have to read through the entire chat. So another great Calculus GPT feature there. So lastly, for the last part of the demo here, I'm gonna real quick before I pass it back to Matthew is gonna be our settings page here on the back end. So we're also going to be improving this, but if you want to see your GPT usage, you can go to the settings page on the back end, click on Calculus under extensions, and from there, we'll click on our GPT usage tab, and we can see the prompts that are being asked, who it's being requested by, the date it's requested on, and then tokens used. And we're also going to have our available tokens on this page as well. So that wraps up my portion of the demo. I'm going to pass things back to Matthew. Again, we ran into a little hiccup there at the end, but the functionality is all there, and we will get that corrected really quickly. So thanks for watching. I hope that was informative. Pass things back to Matthew, and we'll be here for the Q&A session at the end.
Thank you, Josh. Let me share my screen here one more time. And again, this is a new feature. We have been working very, very hard to get this out as quickly as possible. We want to focus on bringing new features, and we do so through industry best practices and customer requests. If you have an additional feature you would like available in the CRM, or if you start using this GPT and even Calculus AI in the add-on and notice other ways it could be improved, or other things you'd like to see possible with it, please reach out to us at support@vtiger.com or use the feedback option within the CRM itself. And you can also keep up to date on all of our new features through our release notes that come out every time we release an update to the CRM. With that, let's start the Q&A session. So I already see quite a few questions are coming in. So yeah, Josh and I will start answering these.
Yeah. Daniela asks, can you use it to create tasks or events or similar, pulling in information from other modules you request? Also, can you use it to create workflows and support integrations? So as of right now, we can't use it to create tasks or events. And right now, the pulling in information, like with the summary view, is limited to contacts, organizations, and deals. But we're really working hard to roll this out as quickly as possible. So one thing that we want to do during this Q&A is also just get some feedback from you. If there's anything that you can think of that you would like to see us do and would be helpful to your business or helpful to other users in general, we are definitely keen on getting your feedback and getting your suggestions as well. So same answer to create workflows and support integrations. Yeah, we can't, as of right now, we can't use it to create workflows. You can definitely get, as Matthew mentioned with Process Designer, you could get ideas for like sales cadences or even ideas for workflows and content to put into emails, but as of right now, we can't use it to create workflows.
And Dave asked, how did you train the GPT to go through your support information? I mentioned that previously. It's a custom model we built for our company based off our existing FAQs and articles. Again, this is a service we offer. If you're interested in doing so, once you start using GPT, I highly recommend first downloading the add-on and testing it out for yourself on what it can do at a baseline functionality. But if it's something you're interested in moving forward with, just reach out to us at support@vtiger.com and we can move forward. It's going to be a pricing based on a case-by-case basis.
Federico asks, does GPT provide answers in other languages? I'm pretty sure it's gonna take whatever your language settings are and my preferences and give you that answer back in your language. I haven't tested that. Matthew, do you know for certain?
I'm sorry, I don't know either at the moment.
That's a good question. Let me see if I can get an answer for you on that. And if I can, I will get back to you during this webinar. Otherwise, we'll send a follow-up email to you.
And someone asks, do I have to enable it for all users? Only a few will use it. Right now, it does have to be enabled for all users, although this is already in the works to have it possible to manage who has access and who doesn't. But right now, it does need to be enabled for all users. Yeah, and in a similar note, this pricing is actually based off of the Calculus AI add-on. So it's not an individual add-on. The GPT integration is a part of Calculus AI. So the pricing is based on Calculus AI. You do get all the additional features I mentioned, but it's $12 per user per month.
So yeah, Ruby asks, will the service you offer grant the ability to train the model on the data in our specific CRM instance so that it can offer suggested responses based on a historical view of cases, for instance? I think that's what Matthew was mentioning earlier. I think we can create custom models depending what you're looking for. So as of right now, out of the box, it does not do that. But I think that's something that we can discuss with our team. And if you reach out to support asking about it, we can get the ball rolling on seeing what the possibilities are for that.
Yeah, and I want to add on because it sounds like he might even want to take this a step further and have it actually analyze all data in the CRM that's being used by each individual company. Because our custom models we build, basically the information has to be fed and trained to the generative AI model. So this would actually be sort of real time reading the data that's already in the CRM. This would be potentially a different feature. I think this would be very useful. So we could bring this up with our team and see if this is a potential addition to our the feature itself. Ruby asked, is this integration with OpenAI's GPT-4 model Rufi, I'm actually not sure which model the integration specifically with, which version of it it is either. That's something we can check in with our team and get back to you on. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head.
Another person is asking, when you say it's $12 per month, you mean that amount per user? So yeah, it is $12 per user per month. But we are definitely working on some pricing options, because we certainly understand that not all users in the CRM are going to be using this. So we're trying to figure out a way to have you select specific users that you're using it for.
Yeah, and additional question adding on. Yeah, token inventory is shared across the CRM. Yeah, so the amount of tokens you have is for all users in the system. Yeah, let me take this to my final slide here. I wanted to give additional ways you can reach out to us. So again, even if maybe you have a question come up after this webinar is over, you can always get in touch with our team. We're available either through email at support@vtiger.com. We have our live chat available in both the website and when you're logged into the CRM. If you click the question mark in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that pop up. That's where the feedback option is, and also live chat is available there as well. And you can also reach us at the phone numbers there at the bottom of the screen.
We have a couple more questions. How are those tokens distributed across the interface? I think.
Yeah, so that's because the tokens are used. It's basically information's generated through the AI and then brought back into the system. So it's about every 3/4, on average, about every 3/4 of a character is one token, I believe, is the distribution. So again, a great way to check too is if you run a prompt, you can then check in the settings and see how many tokens it used to generate that prompt. So Ricardo asked, could it be used to create a knowledge base article from a case? It could. The only thing is you'd have to feed in the information you wanted to then build the knowledge base article from. So it couldn't pull in all the information from the case directly at the moment. You'd have to feed it the information from the case first to then generate the article. I hope that made sense. If not, let me know. I could explain it a little bit more. But yeah, basically you're working with the assumption that it's not pulling in all the email information directly from the case itself. That has to be added in first to train it on the information that it would then use to build the article.
And Ruby, I'm testing that right now to see if we yeah, it does not look like the prompts are using tokens.
Yeah, so for context, for everyone else listening, the commands, like if you do /sm, then contact and John to search for the contact John in your CRM, that's using an API call, so it actually will not use any of your tokens. So anything searching for internal information in the system, that's not going to use tokens. Stephen, yeah, so with how this is set up, yeah, the feature itself, Calculus AI, does cost the $12 per month per user. And then there is the additional cost of tokens for use for the GPT integration. Yeah, we wanted to be as straightforward and open about that as possible. It just has to do with the integration and the AI algorithm being used for it. We're not seeing any additional questions come in. Does anyone have any final questions for us before we wrap up the webinar? So Ricardo asks, is this integration able to operate on the chat/WhatsApp channels of the CRM? Well, as Josh showed, a big part of this is actually the integration with our live chat module. So it does function. It will be able to generate a response directly to questions asked through live chat. WhatsApp, it's not currently available for. It's still available overall in the CRM, so you can always click the GPT icon in the top right-hand corner to then put in your prompt, but it's not directly available for WhatsApp channels at the moment.
It says if our organization has an open AI GPT-4 account and an API that we already have tokens for, can this be integrated into Vtiger? I don't believe so at this point. I think it's all going to be separate for right now. And then Ruby has asked feature request. It'd be nice to have a pure AI live chat agent who can constantly reply to tier 1 questions in the live chat. That's a great request, and we will certainly pass that one along.
Yeah, that is one. It would definitely be nice, but it's I think part of the reason one is right now we're in early stages of this integration and we're working to improve it constantly. But another one is with these responses, it's still very good to have human moderation. The integration is not perfect and what it generates is not perfect. So it's still good to have at least someone human look over the responses first before anything is sent. But that is definitely a great request, and we'll pass it along to our team.
Ruby asks, is the $12 per month per user per month price for everyone or only non-enterprise client licenses? I do believe it's for everyone. Let me double check just quick, but I believe it applies to everybody.
Yeah, well, Josh is looking into that. I do want to say again, thank you all so much for joining. We love hosting these webinars, especially when we get to talk about such a new feature like this. If there is any features you would like to see a webinar on in the future, please do let us know. Again, you can always reach out to us at support@vtiger.com, even if it's just for something small like, oh, I'd love to see a webinar on this specific aspect of the CRM. We'd love to hear those requests.
Yeah, looking at our pricing right now, it does look like it's still $12 per user per month. But we'll get some clarification on that, and we can send you a follow-up email once we get a solid answer on that, Ruby.
With that, I think we will be wrapping things up here. Thank you all again for joining. As I mentioned again, if again any feedback on the feature itself, or if any requests one for future webinars, or even if you have any other issues or comments you want to make to our team, you can always reach out to us at any time. We're always available.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. This is a really exciting feature, so hopefully as we continue to enhance this and make it better, we'll do more webinars on it. But thank you for taking the time out of your day, mornings or nights to join us, and we hope you all have a great rest of your mornings, afternoons, or evening.